the guy's reaction. We do not yet have the details of the contract, but suffice it to say, this is going to be something that will be at least $13 million in average annual value. The Chiefs had been wanting to add a running back, okay? So this is incredible news for the Kansas City Chiefs. First of all, Patrick Mahomes very much on track to be ready to go week one. Travis Kelce coming back for one last hurrah. They're still ironing out the contract details, but that does appear to be happening. They traded away Trent McDuffie because they weren't ready to make him the highest paid corner in NFL history and got a first-round pick and then some back for him. And now, Kenneth Walker III, coming off a fantastic postseason run, something that we really haven't seen from the running back position since Terrell Davis more than 20 years ago. The Kansas City Chiefs are landing Kenneth Walker III. Seattle Seahawks did not tag him. It was a bit of a surprise to folks, especially considering Zach Charbonnet suffered that ACL injury in the postseason, may not be ready for week one. They said, go out there and test your market. I know there were reports that the New York Giants were involved. They were never involved at his price point. Jacksonville Jaguars, keeping an eye, not really involved at his price point. Denver Broncos certainly had some interest as well. But the Kansas City Chiefs had emerged over these last few days as potentially the top place for Kenneth Walker III to land. So again, waiting to get the details on this. I feel confident and comfortable to say that this will be above $12 to $13 million per year. And we can circle back on what these final deals ultimately are. But a huge, huge get for the Kansas City Chiefs as they try to get back to another Lombardi.
Thank you, JJ. Let's get a reaction from the roundtable, starting with Ben.
Conversation at the end of the season surrounding the Chiefs was, is the dynasty over? What are they going to do? Mahomes is hurt. Kelce, we just got Kelce, and all they do now is go and sign the Super Bowl MVP and Kenneth Walker. So I think this is a massive get for the Chiefs. A running game is something that they've looked for over the course of the year. I think Mahomes was their leading rusher a good majority of the season. So for them to be able to go get a guy like Kenneth Walker, maybe Travis Kelce knew a little bit about this too and said, hey, yeah, I want to come back if we're getting this guy. So for the Chiefs offense, this is a reload. This is a heck of a signing for them, and this is going to make that team better instantly.
This is so unlike the Chiefs. I can't remember last time they played a running back position. I remember Jamal Charles. I know he was drafted. I'm not sure if he got re-signed there, but he was a heck of a back. But when I look at what a quarterback and Patrick Mahomes needs, his security blankets, Ben mentioned it earlier, a third down receiver, a slot receiver, Rashee Rice. You have Travis Kelce coming back, a tight end. We talked about how that's Mahomes' best friend. But that running back position is so valuable for the quarterback. Look at Mahomes coming back off the injury. Now he can hand it off to Kenneth Walker a couple more times a game than he used to. You don't have to be the leading rusher anymore. We keep Mahomes in the pocket a little bit, keep him clean. Give him the running back, give him the tight end, give him the slot receiver. He has all three there. I love Kenneth Walker going to the Chiefs. It's a beautiful fit for both sides.
I like pairing Kenneth Walker III with this strength in the middle offensive line with Creed Humphrey and with Trey Smith. And what is one thing that Kenneth Walker does well? He has tremendous vision. He's patient, and oftentimes the rep isn't won immediately at the line of scrimmage, but in those subsequent 2 to 3 seconds. Creed Humphrey, Trey Smith, two of the best at finishing in the National Football League. To your point, takes the pressure off Patrick Mahomes, and you have to think Travis Kelce knew this was going to happen.
Absolutely.
You know me with running backs. I'm not paying them. I'm not paying a running back.
Hey, somebody got to get paid
boom,
today.
Boom, boom, boom. Pulling off the shelf.
Like a lemon.
But they've been doing that.
Okay, here's the other thing. Let's be real about Kenneth Walker was fantastic in the playoffs. But was he not splitting time during the regular season with the guy, too? Was he not? Zach Charbonnet was getting carries just like he was.
So what is he being accused of? Being fresh?
No, he's not. He's accused of being you're not really the number one running back until he had to be the number one running back.
Some teams have different.
I think he bounces too much sometimes too. Look, the Chiefs have other major issues. Forget about the running game. What about the pass rush? I mean, the pass rush is a major problem for them. They paid Chris Jones, they paid Karlaftis, and they still had major problems rushing the passer. And they're going to they let McDuffie go. They traded McDuffie. They're going to probably lose Jalen Watson, their cornerback. So now you have problems on defense. So I think there's bigger problems than running back for the Kansas City Chiefs.
Maybe they're shifting back to being an offensively focused team because the last handful of years it's actually been led by their defense. We've got JJ again standing by. The Mahomes stuff, been talking about the injury. The guys have been talking about the injury. What's the thing that you're learning here and can tell us about Mahomes perhaps week one or when, JJ?
Yeah, so he tore his ACL in mid-December. We remember that, of course. He was able to get surgery rather quickly on that, and that was a huge boon to his potential to return for week one of the 2026 season. Look, nobody bets against Patrick Mahomes. If they do, they're down a lot of money over these past couple of years. Now, let's be clear about this. While the expectation is, the optimism is that he will be ready for week 1, the truth of the matter is he is 6 months away from week 1, right? We all are 6 months away from week 1. But things have been trending in a positive direction ever since getting that surgery quickly. And so, again, plenty more time, a half a year until we get to week 1 of the 2026 season. But the Chiefs have been very hopeful and optimistic that he will be ready. Signs do point that way, and that's why you haven't heard the Kansas City Chiefs involved with one of these veteran quarterbacks who could potentially compete and be ready to go week 1. Does that mean he's going to be 100% healthy at the start of training camp? Obviously, the Chiefs are going to be playing this very, very smart. But there, again, is a lot of hope, optimism, and even a healthy expectation that Patrick Mahomes will be ready week 1.
Thank you, JJ. I want to get back to the conversation about what Ken Walker III can mean for this team, because Kareem Hunt, aging vet, Isaiah Pacheco 2 years ago was hurt. He was seemingly healthy this year but didn't produce, which is partly why they're making this type of move, Pete. But you mentioned the money. I mean, a couple of years ago we were talking about Saquon Barkley, Josh Jacobs not being worth $15 million. Only Christian McCaffrey, maybe a Bijan Robinson, very small list of guys. But certainly, Pete, to the very least, this is an upgrade of what they've been having here the last 18 months.
Oh, it's an upgrade. There's no question it's an upgrade. But you can also find backs. I mean, they found Pacheco when he was healthy in the 7th round. I mean, you can find backs. You can draft them. Now, there is a lot of talk out there that this is not a great draft for running backs. So I'll give you that. So if you're maybe that had some kind of influence on them to make a decision that way, because. But they're going to be in a position where they might be able to take Love. They might have been in a spot to take Jeremiah Love if you love him that much. So no pun intended. But I'm not paying a running back that kind of money, particularly a guy who for most of last year was just a guy, and for most of his career has had injury problems and been just a guy. He was great in the playoffs. You can't take that away from him. You don't agree? You're shaking your head.
Kenneth Walker is more than just a guy. For a guy that's been in defensive game plan meetings and had to play against Seattle Seahawks and had to play against Kenneth Walker, I'm giving you experience from what we have to scout them and what we have to do game plan wise. And he was more than just a guy in Seattle. He has been special. He's always been special. They kept him fresh. That is their coach's decision to give Charbonnet carries. But I don't think anyone in Seattle thinks that Charbonnet is a better back than Kenneth Walker. When Kenneth Walker had to carry the load in the playoffs, he delivered a Super Bowl. So I've always felt, and I've said this on the show for years, if you don't have a top quarterback, get a top back. Well, the Chiefs have a top quarterback, but he's coming off an injury. Because if you have a top back in the backfield, right, a lot to deal with in terms of game planning. It makes Travis Kelce's job easier. It makes Rashee Rice's job
easier. Well, look
easier.
at the job Daniel Jones had to do last year. I'm not trying to take anything away from Daniel Jones, but hello, people were looking at that running game saying, how the hell are we going to stop it?
What year were you with the 49ers? What
2023.
Okay, he averaged 4.1 per rush. Woo-wee.
Because
I mean, you're going to worry about that?
Our whole game plan was to not let him go off. We have to take away something.
I'm talking about his career. I mean, his season.
There are guys who are second on the carries list in every city in the National Football League that have small, like cult-like fan clubs in their cities that said, you know, Johnny needs more carry. Well, this is Johnny, and Johnny showed up in the playoffs in the Super Bowl and dominated. You want to know what I think makes him special? I mentioned it earlier. His vision. He can create a 2 to 4 yard run and turn it into an 8 to 12 yard run. In addition to that, when he gets through the line of scrimmage, his forward body lean is elite. His ankle flexion's unbelievable. When he's in space, he gone.
2 years from now, you got
Team Walker.
You'll be singing.
They got Travis Kelce for 1 year, bro.
But imagine him with Andy Reid's game playing as well. Because you can look at the other backs that done well in Kansas City, but a lot of that has to do with taking an average back and having Andy Reid do a goal line pass to him, doing a screen to him. Imagine you give a Kenneth Walker that.
Yeah,
right.
Look,
the production's going to be high.
Move, I'll be honest with you.
You probably didn't like Saquon going to the Eagles either. I can just sense it.
Saquon was different. Saquon was different than Kenneth Walker.
We got to pull up
on
the
brand with the Pete Briscoe. We're up against the break here, but great conversation on that, guys. A reminder about what we do here at HQ. Hit every highlight streaming for free, 24/7. It's all free on the CBS Sports app or your smart TV.